Hey people, Jean-Carlos here with Total Body Training, where I help people get lean, gain muscle, and build confidence. Today, I had the pleasure of interviewing Steve Verbeke. And Steve Verbeke and his wife Kim are both the co-owners of K2 Cryo Spa. Steve and Kim are amazing people. They help improve the health and wellness of people here in Texas, and that's why I decided to interview them. This interview is all about cryotherapy and its many health benefits, which include reduced inflammation, you get better sleep, reduced aches, pains in your knees, joints, also lowering your stress. So, if you aren't familiar with cryotherapy, I did a video a few months back where I jumped in a cryo chamber, and I'm going to show you what a cryo chamber looks like in this clip right here. Without further ado, here's my interview with Steve Verbeke. Hey guys, what's up? I am here with Steve from K2 Cryo Spa, and he's going to talk to us a little bit. I'm just going to interview him about exactly what they do here at K2 Cryo Spa.
All right, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
We freeze people.
Yeah, okay. All right. So I had the experience. Like, I did it a few months ago, and a lot of my people got to watch that. If you follow me on Snapchat, got to watch me hop into the, what do you call it?
Right. It's cryo chamber.
Okay, the cryo chamber, okay.
Yeah.
And what does that do, and why should people do that?
Everybody's heard of ice baths, and they've taken them, and they're painful. This is the most modern technique, similar to ice bath, but it does a little bit deeper, more thorough way of getting rid and controlling your inflammation. Instead of taking an ice bath and getting cold from the outside in, you're actually getting cold as a vasoconstriction from the inside out. Similar to when you used to hear about kids falling through the ice. They'd get to a point where they were under there for 20 minutes, and they bring them back, and there's nothing wrong with them. The body knows how to survive. So this is very similar in a technique. When we get to about negative 165, 170, your mind triggers that vasoconstriction and tries to conserve and bring things back to your core. Circulates through your liver, through your lungs, gets a lot of oxygen, and starts saving everything in your body and providing nutrients and filtering it. When you come out of the chamber, all that blood that's been pulled back to your core starts going back out to your extremities. At that point, it starts treating your inflammation and starts relieving the stuff that you've been through throughout the day, sicknesses, everything else that we go through here.
Yeah, and the thing that I really liked about it when I did it is that I've done the ice baths, and it's not that ice baths necessarily are bad, it's just that way more uncomfortable than doing the hopping in the chamber over there, because you're only in there for how long?
3 minutes.
3 minutes, okay. Yeah. And so you're saying that the benefits are
anti-inflammatory. The biggest thing. Back in the 70s, the guy who invented this technique was, I believe it was in China, was for rheumatoid arthritis. Mm-hmm. In the 80s, it was taken into Europe, and they started using it for athletes. And they found out that people could train, go to a cryo chamber, get treated, go back out and train again, and raise the whole level of their performance because they had recovery. Then, of course, it got over here, about 10 years ago, we started seeing it in the United States, and then it's really taken off in the last couple of years.
Yeah. People
that can go and do a workout, pre-workout, come in, go in the chamber, they feel more loose, they have a lot more energy, they do their workouts, they're sore, they come back in, and we can basically eliminate a majority of their soreness with a couple treatments. So they're able to go right back out the next day and do the exact same training at the exact same level.
Yeah, having done this, you feel incredible. You get this boost of energy. Like when you walk out, you feel on top of the world. And as an athlete, somebody who's constantly pushing it, you guys have seen me, it just feels good to let your body kind of recover after pushing it so hard. And so what I found when I did mine is that things like my knees, which I don't really have bad knees. A lot of people say they have bad knees. They don't. You just get soreness in your legs. Sometimes you'll have a little bit of knee trouble. My knees and joints and stuff like that felt a lot more relaxed and loose and less tense in my body. That's why I enjoyed it.
We do. Yeah. We get a lot of people post-knee surgery. We have a few NFL players or ex-NFL players that have come in and got their knees replaced or had everything fixed. Now that they're not playing, and we've diminished their recovery time down to less than half of what a lot of people have gone through because of the treatments. Their therapists have come in and said stuff to us about the inflammation, their range of movement, and stuff like that, just the stuff we're tracking here with our clients.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty incredible. Like, and so, you know, the first place that I heard about it, I think they've been talking about it a lot on talk shows. Who was it? You guys have somebody on your website who's talking about it.
We got Dr. O's out there. He's done it.
Yes.
You know, we've obviously seen Oprah Winfrey. We've seen LeBron James.
Yes.
You know, it's anybody that understands the NFL and the NBA. They all have cryo machines. They all have Normatec compression. Almost every one of them have them now. Why? Because it's all about recovery. Dallas Mavericks, first one to ever have a cryo machine. That year they won the championship. Does that work and match up? I'd like to believe so. But
that's pretty cool.
He's the first one to get one. They could go ahead and do their training every day. They could do practice. They could come in, do cryo, rehabilitate, recover, go back out, and go right at it again.
Yeah, because literally what basketball players and stuff like that apparently have been doing is they'll go and they'll play a game and they've got to go out and play the next night. And so they're all sore and beat up and they've got to be able to work out. They don't just play the games. So like what a lot of them do is they just go and they hop into
Chamber.
a chamber.
Yep.
There's also the compression.
Yeah, Normatec compression. It's a suit that you can usually use on your legs, your lower back and hips, arms and shoulders. And what it'll do is it'll squeeze the blood back out of those areas in different patterns and allow the blood back in. And what that does is helps get rid of your lactic acid, helps get the blood movement in those areas, helps with edema if you've got swelling. And it's almost like a massage with like air pillows, except for you will get a little numbness because of the pressure.
Why did you decide to open? Because you're the owner, you and your wife like own the company together. What made you want to go into that?
I had worked on the convention center when they were doing the expansion, and my wife was like, "Let's start our own business." So we had thought about probably 24 things, and I had made a joke to her at the time. I said, "If you would cancel all your memberships at these cryo places that you're going to, then I wouldn't have to get a job." So the joke sort of stopped at that part, and we suddenly realized that that's maybe something we need to look at. So we looked at a cryo. My wife had been doing it here in San Antonio, Dallas, Fort Worth, Florida, Phoenix, LA, for adrenal fatigue. One of her doctors said you need to be doing this to help rejuvenate and repair and recover. It'll help with sleep, helps reset a lot of your sleep patterns and gives you a better night's sleep, gets you more relaxed. So she went through all that, and then we sort of joked about it when we were building the business, and we said, okay, this is what we're going to do. Actually, almost a year to this week was that conversation.
So you've been open for about a year.
Well, that was when we said this is what we're going to do. We opened up in June after building this out and getting everything ready, but almost going into the first week of February is when we had that conversation. And we're like, what are we going to do? And we said, this is what we're going to build. And then we opened up, bought all our paperwork 2 weeks later. And this is how we got started.
Yeah, it's nice.
I had physically never done cryo until we opened up.
You put a lot of faith in your wife.
I
and
did.
the things she liked. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
I'm the one. She's the triathlete. She's a long distance runner.
Okay.
She's done all that crazy stuff that you hear people talking about, 26 miles and swimming and biking. First time we met, we did the Century Ride for the Fiesta, which she talked me into. And that was a very mentally grueling thing to get through.
How long is it?
100 miles.
Oh my God, a bike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had done that together, and then that sort of, at that point, sort of made us gel on what we were going to do and how crazy we were going to be physically with exercise and stuff like that. I'm the guy who usually was the weightlifter and the football and stuff like that. I have rheumatoid arthritis through my hips and my SI joint and stuff like that I deal with. She has the adrenal fatigue and some of the things she's lived with just from exhausting herself, running herself ragged to the end. So her doctor got her into cryo for repairing that. Then when we started thinking about it, my restriction is my hips, my arthritis that I have, so it was sort of a match that we needed. Mine was about a 4-week, schedule before I started to really feel the relief in the arthritis side. I'm doing it once a day, being consistent, and I'm the person who's not thrilled with being cold, but I understand the benefits of it, and for 3 minutes you can almost do anything. About 4 weeks in, I started feeling my range of motion. I started feeling the pain relief finally get completely out of it, and it started to be to where I was just that much more mobile. I don't have to go to the chiropractor as much anymore because of the other aches and pains, and I maintain a lot of my comfort based on the cryo machine.
Yeah, it's really not that bad. So people tell you, what's the temperature that it drops you down to?
We're usually run you to about a negative 215.
Yeah, and that's really cold. Having done it and having planned to do it more often here this new year, it's definitely really cold, but it's nothing like hopping in an ice bath. I mean, ice bath is very, very uncomfortable. Unless you like pain, this is very quick. It's in my opinion, it's painless. You're just in there. You're just a little chilly, and to me, you get a rush when you do it. It's like something you just go out and you do, and you get all these endorphins.
You do. You get a feel good endorphin. The same with the oxygen that goes out to your muscles, goes to your brain. A lot of people look at it and they're like, it's sort of almost like they feel they got done meditating. They get a little bit of a rush. A lot of people will say it feels like they took a cup of coffee, so they got like a 5-hour boost of energy. Mainly, a lot of them like it because it sort of just calms them and relaxes them and makes them feel better overall.
Yeah, I would say that I felt all of those symptoms, and with my first experience doing it. So she was dealing a lot with adrenal fatigue due to work and things like that. I take it. Can you explain?
Working out.
Can you explain what adrenal fatigue is?
It's basically your adrenals control everything that goes on within your hormones of your body. They're the boss. And if those are off, you're going to get a multitude of different systems. You're going to feel tired. You're not going to have the energy. You're not going to have the focus. Your testosterone and all the other hormones aren't going to function the way they should. So once you stress your adrenals and they can't control the rest of your stuff going on, you're sort of on a downward spiral from there unless you can get it in check. Rest is one of the most important things, getting great night's sleeps. The other part is taking care of yourself, getting your blood work and knowing where you sit and seeing what's going on and what's being correct in your body and what's not correct. Is there a single solution to it? No, there's not. Just like anything else, it takes a little bit of trial and error to get it right. My wife, it's taken about 2 years for hers to get on a continuous upward climb to where she's about 90% now. So it's working really good for her.
I think what we're saying here is that, we're all going to deal with a little bit of adrenal fatigue. I mean, we have busy lives, some of us have families, kids, things like that. You stack on top of that work, you stack on top of that responsibilities, you can find yourself in a place where you're chronically tired. And I see people who are dealing with that all the time. And you're not going to really be able to become the best version of yourself if you're consistently tired and you're not doing any kind of self-care.
It's very similar to what cryo does. Cryo, its main goal is to get rid of your inflammation. 95% of every sickness you'll ever get starts as an inflammation, from cancer and MS. Everything starts as an inflammation. If you can control the inflammation, your body is always trying to heal itself. Your body can work so much better if you keep the inflammation out to allow it to fix everything else that's going on. And it's the same with everything else you're doing. If you can control the main thing that holds you back from your body being able to repair itself, your body will take care of itself.
And I like that you're saying it that way, because what you're putting it in realistic terms. So you're not saying that this is a cure-all. And so unfortunately, like the way that our culture is, a lot of times people want one thing that's going to fix everything. And this isn't the case, and neither is fitness. And that's what I specialize in. It's everything you're doing. So if you're going to bed, every day at 1 o'clock in the morning and then getting up at 6 to go work, while you might be getting a lot done, you're also going to run into a wall very quickly, and you're going to find yourself feeling unhappy, unmotivated. Your sex life, things like that, are going to be hurt because of that, because your hormones aren't going to cycle. And so personally, I feel that what would really help people out is to have some fitness and then some self-care. And that's where something like doing this would really help people tremendously.
That's probably our biggest goal. When we first started out, we're providing all these neat things for everybody to try, and we believed in everything that was going on. But really here, everybody at K2 is worried about your individual education on taking care of yourself. The trainers that come here, we try and educate them so that they can communicate and say, if you're going through this, this is no longer like our workouts where we used to be able to go in and grind through something. When you're talking about your hormones, you're talking about an inflammation and how bad it attacks your body and how weak it makes you or how tired it gets you, you really need to understand how to take care of those. To be able to perform in the gym and be able to perform in anything you're doing, you need to start taking care of yourself first.
I ended my interview with Steve a little abruptly. Didn't put an outro, so this is my outro, and I just want to say thanks to all the awesome people over at K2 Cryo Spa who let me come over and film with them, and Steve. We will definitely be doing a follow-up. I'm going to do an interview with Kim, his wife, who's the co-owner and is a wellness coach. If you enjoyed this video, please like it at the bottom, share it with your friends, and follow me on Total Body Training's Facebook page or our YouTube channel for more awesome videos. Until next time, peace.